Hi, everyone. My overall aspiration as a social worker is to create my own crisis shelter for children in unfortunate situations, preferably ages 0 to 12 years old. The goal of my crisis shelter is to give nurturing opportunities to children in unfortunate situations, but most importantly, in DCS care. There will be an emphasis on keeping sibling sets together and sibling involvement, especially children with behaviors like sexualized or some pretty aggressive behaviors. I would love to have specialized um, people on site, like a therapist on site, a nurse on staff, or family support partners, community volunteers, kind of you name it. The shelter would offer visitation at least twice a day, every single day. Um, and the goal is that while caring for the children, it'd also be extremely collaborative for the bio family. Um, we would focus on the kids' treatment plans, but we'll also be focusing on a specific goal for reunification and discharge from the shelter, even if it's just a few hours, even if it's a few months. Um, the goal, these goals may mean that there would be significant involvement with working alongside the crisis staff, whether that's working with the nurses to understand the medical regimen, or working with the primary care workers or the specific people on site to learn how to bathe and learn basic parenting on a hands-on real life approach. As the children stay in the shelter, I would love to enforce normalcy, but most importantly have a Montessori approach, where there'd be a really big focus on gardening and community involvement and life skills, and have significant components of the community in, whether that's Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, different soccer teams, even to really give the opportunity to have a normal life. Most important to me, though, is to try to keep these kids in the same school that they already belong to, if at all possible. When the children would be ready to discharge, there'd be significant discharge planning and expectations to ensure a smooth transition and a more stable option. I know it can be really, really tricky having kids transition from a structured environment and not normal, familiar environment to home. When I worked at a shelter in the past, we did a little bit of that. One of the things that really surprised me were kids that forgot to ask for food because they'd never really had access to a fridge before. Not because anyone was neglectful, but because in the past they were just always expected to have their plates brought to them. So really making sure parents understand kind of what the lifestyle was like and how different the lifestyle is going to be. Outside of housing and caring for kids, though, at the shelter, I would love to have a variety of parenting classes and support groups for parents of the youth in the community. I would love to focus on tons of preventative care, and interventions. So, appropriate parenting, disciplinary actions, how to enroll kids in school, just very simple things like that. And then obviously the goal would be that the parents that were once sitting in the classroom were leading and being a member of the community. I think that would be incredible, as well as having the parents of the children within the shelter be their own support network. So I think that would be the dream. But obviously that's a long way from now. I think in order to move up to this level, it's imperative to continue to be exposed to as many elements of the social work world. I would love to gain more understanding and experience within licensing and being a placement specifically, as well as gain a really solid knowledge of the Head Start program to gain these children, or to give these children the opportunity to really work on those developmental milestones. Having a social work perspective from a school perspective would be extremely beneficial, because I believe that there's a lot of similarities between school social work and managing a crisis shelter. On the flip side, also being exposed to hospital social work would be really beneficial, especially due to the rapid turnover and discharge planning similar to what is seen in many hospitals. I would love to continue to network and understand the variety of resources within my community, which is Phoenix, and connect myself with them. That way, instead of it being like my own shelter, it is the community shelter and a way to give back. So I would love to do that, but it's a little bit down the road. But that's that. Thanks, everyone.